bummed you're not wearing a cowboy hat because
Oh,
an overwhelmingly large number of people wanted us to ask you how to pick out the perfect cowboy hat. So if you could walk us through your process.
so I'll put it this way. When I was a young kid, I used to just go into Cavender's and pick out whichever hat that I liked and, have the guy that was standing behind the counter shape it up for me. And I had never been to a real hat shop before until I was probably in college. I went down to South Austin in this little town called Elgin, Texas. And there was this hat bar there with a younger gentleman that was shaping behind the counter. And I walked in and he looked at me and he picked out a hat and shaped it for me. And ever since then I have not touched a hat. I probably have, I don't know, over 200 to 300 hats. I get a new one literally every time that I go into the shop, and I just let them pick it out because the guys that do that for a living every day, they know exactly how to fit it to you and they know how to make you look good in a hat. And that's what's good about it is you don't have to do anything. You just got to go in there and have somebody who knows what they're doing help you.
Okay, well, that makes me feel better because I want to go buy my first like legitimate hat, not like from Country Thunder or Amazon. And
Yeah,
so now I know to go just have them let them do their thing. So I think that's pretty good advice.
absolutely. Where do you live?
So I'm Chicago based, believe it or not.
Chicago. We'll get you a hat up there. I'm coming to Chicago soon. I'll bring you one.
I know you are. We're going to be there. It's going to be a Halloween party.
Oh yeah, it is.
I'm very excited, but I want to talk to you about just growing up in Texas, and just the amount of music that is there. I mean, obviously you have country, but there's a little bit of everything. Was there a song that you remember falling in love with at a really early age? Like I remember the first song I fell in love with was like an old Dixie Chicks ballad, and I had like no reason at 3 years old to be screaming those lyrics. So, did you have a song like that?
My first favorite song ever was "Drift Away" by what Dobie Gray, I think.
Yeah.
I used to. I went to a Christian school my whole life, from like preschool all the way till graduating for college, and so they would allow us in kindergarten to get up there and sing like our favorite hymnals or whatever we wanted to sing. And I would get up there and sing, "Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul."
I mean, that's a great hymn.
It is. It's a great one.
I
So
love
I
it.
I remember that from a little kid. I'd say that one, Benny and the Jets for sure. Crocodile Rock. Uh, all those are my favorites.
I love it. So obviously you're in Texas, country music, like the home of pedal steel. I still make a joke that I'm going to get like a pedal steel tattoo on me somewhere, just as a joke. But
That's not a
hey,
bad idea.
well, I'm a sucker for pedal steel. So that's what my girlfriend said. I should get like an artist to write out sucker for pedal steel and then have it
Ooh,
tattooed on me somewhere. So maybe you'll be that person. You never know.
you never know.
But who really helped foster your love of music and who really kind of was like, hey, Braxton, like maybe this is something you should do?
Well, my whole life, my family has told me, not my immediate family, but like cousins and aunts and whatnot. They've always told me that I needed to get into music, and I always told them that it's way too difficult and that it's too hard. And that was growing up, all the way till I got to college. When I got in college, my roommate heard me playing and was like, "Man, what are you gonna do with your life?" And I was like, "I'm not really sure." And he was like, "Well, I think you should give this a try. At least like go record one song, go play a little bit around, just so you can see if you like it. And so that one day you can tell your kids that you have a song that's been recorded and they can listen to it." And so I was like, "All right," saved up a little bit of money and went into the studio. At this point, I'm about 18 or 19 and I've been writing for a long time. So I've got a lot of songs. Uh, and I went to the studio and I fell in love. I couldn't quit going to the studio. So I went one time, I went a second time, changed studios, found a different place, and just started figuring out what worked. Uh, and I caught that honky tonk bug. I fell in love with it.
Oh, hey, there's your next song. I want credit on it. Honky Tonk Bug. I want I want a songwriter credit on there. Just
That's right.
when
I
I
get
look
you.
on Spotify, I can say, "Oh, there's my name."
There's that credit.
I want that credit. But let's talk about your songwriting. When did that kind of start? I mean, was it shortly after your roommate, or had you always kind of dabbled and maybe just like writing stuff down or poems, or when did that kind of love of songwriting start?
I've been writing songs since I was 6 to 7 years old. The first song that I wrote was definitely right around then, 6 or 7. I remember showing my parents and stuff, and I've always written songs my whole life. Were they good ones? Absolutely not. Uh, and did I know what I was doing? Absolutely not. I was just copying what other people did. I mean, at 6 or 7, I was writing love songs, and I had no idea what love was. I just had heard the lyrics that they were using and used similar lyrics. So yeah, I'd been writing for a while. I would say that from that part of my life to now, when I'm actually writing, and like constantly thinking about what I should be writing, it's 100% completely different. It's not even. I mean, I don't even get the same feeling when I write anymore, like I used to. And that was a big thing for me because back then, writing was about when I felt it.
Yeah.
I never wrote unless I felt something, and usually it would be like I couldn't sleep late at night, and I'd be like, "Well, I guess I need to write a song then." So I get up and I get my guitar and I play in my bathroom real quietly so my parents and brothers didn't wake up, and that's how it went. Nowadays, it's scheduled. I've got I got on my calendar when I'm supposed to be at a right next, and so it's a little more difficult. It's not as inspiring, I would say. Uh, Still fun,
Yeah.
and I love doing it. I get way better songs now than I ever did then. I just miss the inspiration of it all, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. But I want to talk about the elephant in the room. The fact that you have become a TikTok, I want to go on a date with Braxton Keith. That might be my favorite TikTok trend ever. What are
That's my
your
least
thoughts
favorite.
on that?
I don't have time
Yeah.
to go on dates.
There you go, girls. So sorry to let you down. Braxton does not have time.
I mean, that's the deal. Is like I'm very tired. We just got back from California. Our
Yeah.
bus broke down, so we drove, a Sprinter and a U-Haul, 18 hours back from Reedley, California, and so I mean, yeah. If I'm not on the road, I'm writing songs, and if I'm not writing songs, then I'm sleeping, and if I'm not doing one of those three things, then I'm dead. I mean, there's nothing like that's all I've been doing for a long time. I love I love the TikTok trend and stuff, but there's been 3 or 4 girls that have won, and I've had to take them out. And yeah, I mean, there's just way more productive stuff I could be doing at this moment. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I had to ask you because the first time I saw it, I'm like, okay, this is funny. Like someone's really clever. And then
mhm.
I remember like one day just kind of like mindlessly scrolling, and there were like 5 or 6. I was
Oh
like,
my gosh.
oh my God, like I'm gonna have to offer my services to like be his assistant and like schedule all these dates out for him and be in his DMs. So I
Well,
mean,
that's another thing is like I do have a guy that helps me out with my DMs and stuff, and that is overwhelming. I mean, like up until that point, I had answered every single person who had ever
yeah,
messaged me uh, by myself. I was answering them, and nowadays, I try to get to as many people as I possibly can, but there's just too many,
yeah.
and sometimes we miss it. So it's it's sad, but social media is. I guess it's that way. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but that is probably my favorite trend of the year. I am so glad that you've also found it
I'm glad
funny.
you like it.
Yeah, I thought it, I was like, oh, poor Braxton. I'm like over here giggling. But girls, so you know, he is too busy. Stop DMing him. Come to a show and
Come to the
support him
show.
there. Buy the merch. Yeah.
That's right. Come to the show. We'll see you there.
I love it. But social media has also been your friend. I feel like Cozy completely became this beast. I mean, I knew of the song because I've been a fan of yours for a while, but I felt like, again, scrolling, and maybe it's because my algorithm is set on country music, every song for I think 5 or 6 slides was Cozy. So, what are your thoughts on people really connecting with that song? Did it surprise you at all?
No, not at all. I mean, that's 100% what we were going to do. It is not by accident that
Okay.
you see that. That is the whole plan. I mean, I don't want to give away too much of the juice. I mean, the sauce, but I'll give you a little bit of the juice. And I mean, everybody's doing that right now.
Yeah.
And it's not about the song being good. It's about forcing it down people's throats for long enough that they accept it. Uh, which is what's I think is kind of scaring the labels,
Yeah.
quote unquote, because it's kind of scary. Like somebody can have a video one day that blows up and gives them 1 million monthly listeners
Yeah.
or triples whatever they're. I mean, that's the way it was with Cozy with Us. And the only reason we hadn't done it like that before is because I thought that we would. I thought that we would annoy some of the fans if we posted it that much and reposted it that much. But I was proven wrong multiple times. And yeah, I mean, the only way for you to make sense of this business right now in the touring music world would be you better hope you at least got 1 foot in
Yeah.
social media.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and it's
Because
crazy that that has to be on your resume now. It's
it,
crazy
it
that you
has
know
to be on your
it,
resume.
it has to be. It has to be at the top. I mean, I'm aging myself, but like I only listen to the country music that my papa Max listened to, that my uncle Pat listened to, and what was on, Chicago country radio. Like that was
Absolutely.
it. And now it's going to be weird. People are like, "Oh, I found so and so on TikTok." It's like, "Huh?" But you have to do that. But selfishly, how was writing Cozy? What was kind of the vibe that day? Because it's one of my favorite songs of the year. And it was shoved down my throat, but I was enjoying it. I liked it from the first time I heard it, so I was not annoyed. But talk to me
Well,
about
and
writing
that's
that
what's
one.
cool about it is like if you like it, then it was a great
For
process.
me, I was like, yes, here it is again.
And I like it, so I love hearing it. But writing Cozy was crazy. I wrote the chorus of it probably about 4 years ago in my front,
Really?
on my front porch in San Angelo, Texas. And I put it down. I didn't do anything with it other than I posted it on TikTok at the time. So I posted it 3 years ago, raw, just when I just written it. And it was a lot of fun. I really vibed with that song because it was different than everything else that I'd done. But I didn't finish that song until I went to Nashville, probably 2 years later. And I got to write with one of my favorite writers that we always write with. He's written countless songs with me, A Little Bit Closer, any of the good ones. And me and him sat down and finished that. And it was, as soon as we finished it, I was smiling. I mean, it's just the most vibey 80s country that you could possibly get. I mean, and that's what's cool is that like a lot of people are doing the whole 90s country thing, which is fine. I love 90s country, but I just want to bring back country. It ain't got to be the 90s. Like
Sucker for pedal steel. It's
that's
right
right, baby.
there. There's your tagline.
It's just going to be a picture of a sucker for just the number 4 and then pedal steel.
That's going to be my tattoo. People are going to be like, what the heck is this? But, I've seen videos of, you or, fans just on social media. Your live shows are rocking. So
Thank
talk
you.
to me about your live show. I'm excited to see it here up by us, but talk to me about your live show. What's your favorite part? How do you love just feeding off those fans?
I love feeding off those fans. Those fans have changed my perspective about the stage multiple times. I'm sure it'll be changed before I end. But yeah, I mean, some of my least favorite songs have become now my favorite songs just because of the fans, and they'll scream them back to you. And man, if they're enjoying it and having a great time, that's all that really matters. So as long as I can feel the energy from them that they're really enjoying what we're doing, it's a great night. You know, we're nonstop, so it's basically just song after song as fast as we possibly can. I want to get you as much music for an hour and 30 minutes as we possibly can. So we focus on that a lot. But we're also just real high energy because we're a honky tonk band. So we just do a lot of movement and just try to keep the crowd engaged throughout the whole time. We played a lot of shows, but I've watched a lot of shows, and so I mean, none of these ideas are new. We've stolen these ideas from everyone in the scene, but yeah, I think we got a pretty good little show going right now.
I love it. Well, I'm excited to see it. What's next? I'm sure you have something up your sleeve. What can we expect from you? I can't believe it's almost the end of the year. Like Hobby Lobby has Christmas decorations out. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hobby Lobby's had Christmas decorations out since July, you know.
Yeah. I love it. But what's next for you? What can we expect here in the coming months?
Well, you will always be expecting some touring. So for sure, go look at the tour dates, www.braxtonkeithmusic.com, and check out if we're in a town near you. Also, we've got new singles coming out. I can't tell you much about that. And a new EP coming out. I can't tell you much about that either, but it's coming out real soon. So y'all keep your eyes and ears open.
You're listening to